Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 outstanding practices that help me and many other people I know to reach fluency in English. I know there are probably thousands of videos on YouTube related to this topic, but I promise you, the tips I'm about to share are truly unique and game-changing for your English. A little bit about my background. I'm from Ukraine and I started learning English at the age of 18. Just 1 year later, I got an opportunity to do a semester abroad and study in the Czech Republic in the English language. Honestly, it was quite challenging for me because English was still a pretty new language to me. However, once I came back to Ukraine, I became very motivated to work on my English because I wanted to move abroad for a longer time. And thus I spent 2 years trying to work on my English while being in Ukraine. However, I didn't really choose an ideal approach how to do so because I fully relied on English classes in a language school, which obviously was not enough because they would only take place maximum 3 times per week. Don't get me wrong, I still improved my English skills a lot by taking classes, and I was even able to move to the United States. But I was so far from being able to watch movies in English, read books, and freely communicate on any topic. And only when I increased my exposure to English and started applying specific practices I will cover in this video, I noticed a massive improvement, and I finally felt 100% comfortable to read, speak, listen, and write in English. Without further ado, let's dive into those practices. Ideally, I would recommend you to move abroad to learn English. But we all know that it's not always possible. It could be very expensive, and we all might have our own obligations back in our own countries, such as families, jobs, and other responsibilities. However, good news, we live in the 21st century, and nowadays you can move to a different country virtually. What do I mean by that, to move to a different country virtually? I mean that you can imitate your living experience abroad in your own home. You can try to switch all the tasks you normally do in your own language to English. For example, start reading books in English, maybe articles, news, watch movies in English, YouTube, and start listening English songs. I understand that it might be very difficult to fully switch to English if you still study and work in your own language. However, your home, and specifically your room, should be the place where you'll boost your exposure to English. You can even decorate your room with specific attributes from those English-speaking countries which you eventually want to visit, such as England, US, or Canada. So this would be a reminder that your room is the place where you get that virtual living abroad experience, and you need to practice here English as much as you can. Nowadays, you can even make English-speaking friends while not leaving your room. I was able to meet such great people on this language exchange app called Tandem, where I practiced my English with people who were interested in learning my native language. And guess what? I was even able to meet some of those people in real life. The second tip I will give you is to become content creator in English yourself. Don't be scared, I'm not necessarily talking about creating an online content, and you don't even have to publish it if you don't want so. You can start from creating content for yourself, such as writing down your thoughts, your ideas, your plans in English, writing down a diary, essays, etc. Once you feel comfortable, you can also start writing Instagram and Facebook posts in your own social medias for your friends. Of course, if you feel comfortable to do so, that's what I did and I found it really helpful. But just try to not write a simple English quote, try to elaborate more on your experiences, thoughts in English. A more challenging way, but definitely very effective, is to create content in English which you might further turn into a side hustle. So here I can give example of my brother. About 4 years ago, he decided to create best possible course on Udemy on machine learning, and he realized that he might have a better reputation on the American market if he is able to sound like a native. So he worked so hard to polish his pronunciation for every learning video he made, and it tremendously improved his English overall. So you can definitely try something similar too. Okay, I'm not making you make videos on machine learning, but you can definitely try and make videos on any topic of your interest. Tip number 3 is record yourself for language learning. Listen to native speakers, listen to what they're saying, their tone, their pronunciation, and try to duplicate the same speech and record yourself. And then compare yourself to the same native speakers. You'll be able to hear your mistakes right away and correct them. Try to do those recording exercises as much as you can and compare your early recordings to your later ones so you can see if and how you're improving. Seeing our progress always motivates us to move forward. The next tip I'm about to share not just helped me to improve my vocabulary in English, it also helped me to get a great score in the TOEFL and GRE exams. And the tip is the spaced repetition system. Spaced repetition system is a way of committing things to memory that is based on the spacing effect. The spacing effect is the idea that things are better learned in the long term if you repeatedly do them or go over them over long periods of time, leaving spaces in between them. When it comes to learning a new vocabulary, spaced repetition is extremely helpful in the way of creating flashcards with unknown words and going occasionally through them. In my case, I would create a card, I would write down an unknown word in English on one side, and I would write its synonyms and examples of using this word in sentences on another side. I recommend you to not write direct translations to your own language, but rather go with English synonyms so you can further advance your English skills. Then, when I go through my flashcards, I will divide them into two piles, with the words which I could memorize and the ones which I struggle to remember. The flashcards I know least well, I would study in intervals close together, while the flashcards I know very well, I would study in intervals spaced far apart. From my own experience, I definitely recommend you to try the spaced repetition system. The final tip is to determine your need behind learning English. It would be really great if you have a strong motivation and you know your end goal with English and you know why you're doing that in order to progress fast. Your motivation could be anything from preparing for the TOEFL, applying for that dream job in a foreign company in a few months, moving abroad, going for a trip abroad, or maybe just being able to consume original content. You should always remember why you started learning English in the first place. Keep your final goal in mind but still enjoy the process. And by the way, you'll get motivation to move forward in learning English specifically from seeing your progress and reaching out those small milestones you will set on your way to the final destination. I hope you enjoyed this video. I also suggest you should watch my another video where I share some highly effective tips on how to improve your public speaking skills in English if you're a non-native speaker. Make sure to watch it in order to become more confident in public speaking in front of different audiences. Thank you for staying until the end of this video. I'm looking forward to see you soon in my next episodes. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Bye bye!